Looking for exceptional healthcare close to home? At Texas Health Hughley Hospital, we're committed to caring for you with compassion and excellence. From routine checkups to complex surgeries, we're here throughout your health journey. Visit texashealthhughley.org to learn more. Welcome to the Heart of Commerce podcast, where we're bringing you the heart and soul of our business community through the voices that make it thrive. In each episode, we sit down with local business owners to share their personal stories, their journeys, their challenges, and triumphs that have shaped their lives and their business. It's not just about promoting a business, it's about connecting with the people behind them. And as you listen to their inspiring stories, you'll find yourself drawn into the lives of our community's entrepreneurs, discovering the passions and dedication that drive them. By building connections, we hope that you'll feel a deeper bond with these businesses that you encounter every day, knowing the faces and the stories behind them, and that when you support these local businesses, you're not just making a purchase, you're investing in the dreams of your neighbors. So today we are here with Robbie Jones with CTS CompuPro. We are so excited to have you on our show today. And you've got treasures for us in the corner that I'm very excited about. Still the treasures. Yep.
Treasures.
Kind of my favorite, which is like a surprise under the radar thing that you are really passionate about.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah, that is exciting.
We're not here just to talk about business.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to know about you, you, the person. But first, CTS CompuPro. How did it come about?
Honestly, it kind of came about by accident.
Okay.
I was between jobs, and the controller for a company I just left was at a new company, and they wanted somebody part-time, but they didn't want to hire a person. They wanted to do a contract. And I thought, okay, let me just start this business and we'll see where it goes. And that was in May of 1999.
That's crazy.
99?
99.
Okay. And was it always CTS CompuPro?
No. So when I first started, I was just a sole proprietor that was called CompuPro. So when I incorporated in 2005, I wanted it to be called CompuPro Technology Solutions, which is where the CTS came from.
I was spelling it out in my head.
With the laws at the time, somebody had CompuPros already reserved. So I was not allowed to have CompuPro Technology Solutions.
It's a mouthful.
So I said, what about CTS CompuPro? They're like, yeah, that's fine. Like, okay, let's just go with that.
Okay. And true or false, you used to actually be a member of the chamber back in the day.
True.
Tell us why you left.
I picked up a customer about 11 years ago that ate up about 75% of my time.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yes. So I wasn't able to be involved in the community and do what needs to be done to be a member of the chamber. So I thought, okay, there's no point in paying the money and not doing it, because back when I was involved, people used to say it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But like, well, you didn't do anything. Yeah. You didn't do anything. You didn't get involved with anything. So
you wrote a check and that's it.
Yeah, you wrote a check and you thought things were going to happen for you, and they didn't. And now you're mad, but you didn't do anything to work for it. So
I think that's true with a lot of our members, is that there's seasons, right? You have the seasons where you've got the time to be able to network and attend events and be a part of the chamber and what we have to offer, whether that's volunteering or, like I said, attending things. And then things get really busy or life happens and you kind of have to lay that down for a moment, we hope. But so we'd love to know that you came back and that you have value and see the value in being a part of the community, because that's huge.
That is really cool. The fact that you would come back as soon as you could.
Yeah. Yes.
So that time away is now only once a week. Is that what you said?
Yes. I go see that customer who's in Decatur every Tuesday.
Okay.
That's a fun drive.
Yes. 60 miles each way. If I take the toll road, it's 68 miles.
What?
I'm out. Nope.
So that's one thing with the after hours on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. I'm usually not getting in town until somewhere between 6 and 6:30.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So you probably won't see me at any of those because I'm
And then on Business
Driving.
Over Breakfast, you're not going to be able to join us either
'Cause that's
because
also a Tuesday.
you're already in Decatur.
Yeah, I'm leaving my house by 7 a.m. on Tuesdays. I have to go.
That's it. We're rescheduling them.
I'm like,
We'll just work them
we need to
around.
figure
our
out
schedule.
something for
Oh,
Robbie.
yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
I wonder how many others maybe have
Yeah, let us know.
eventful
Like,
things
we
on
should
Tuesdays.
know. We need that kind of feedback.
Those are our favorites. You would love them.
yeah,
maybe-
you really would.
We'll just talk to your guy in Decatur. We'll just ask for a pass.
Can we move? You know,
It'll be fine. We're the chamber.
it's just
Yeah.
once a
Big
week,
deal.
like the last Tuesday of the month.
Yeah.
I if you give me his phone number, I'm more than happy to call him. I'll just tell him.
We'll
hey,
write a
look,
letter. It's
I'm just
fine.
going to need you to recognize.
I've known him for probably going on 25 years, and
It wouldn't fly. No.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
well,
fine.
no.
darn it. That's fine. That's
thought
it.
we had a
So what does your business actually do? We've talked about when you did it and how you came up with the name.
I support small businesses
We do
with
too, Robbie.
a focus on cybersecurity. So protecting your workstations, your computers, trying to keep them from getting hacked or hit with a ransomware or anything else.
Does that really happen that often still, the ransomware
yes.
stuff? Okay. And it's not just to like title companies and banks and things like that. It's to everybody.
No, I haven't seen as much of the ransomware lately as there was. So there's a lot of really cool technology in the security space. But the weakest link and the biggest issue is the human factor.
Like passwords?
Passwords is one of them.
So we talked last time that Sarah may or may not be the kind of person with a singular email, like password
One
login
password for all the things.
for. And I was like, you should not do that.
No.
And so it's not password, people. So, I mean, I've changed it. Okay. And then I've changed it a couple of times everywhere else because Robbie actually schooled me on some things more in depth than Melissa did. But yeah.
I just shamed
you just kind of affirmed it like, yeah, no, Melissa's right. You should probably not have the same password for all the things.
So the starting place with a password should be at least 9 characters long, an upper, lowercase, a number, and a special character.
I have all of that.
So
That's good. 9's a lot.
I
I'm
think
just saying.
I had a chart, and if I'd brought my computer, I could have shared it. It would take somebody 3 years to try to brute force that password.
Oh,
With 9 characters,
With 9.
one upper, one lower, special
number.
character, and a number.
Yes.
Okay.
It was 3 years. You get up around that 13. It was
13 characters?
13 characters.
But I can't. That's a whole phrase.
Which is not that difficult to do.
Oh. Okay.
You have to think of something that you're always going to remember. Like the example I use for a password that would be really good is lions, tigers, bears,
Oh, my.
and then a number. And I usually separate them with a
The
dash.
0, because that's the O.
Yeah. So that's
welcome.
something that's very easily rememberable,
Okay.
but it's also long enough and it has the mixture of all of that
Got it.
gives you the password strength. But if you use the same password on everything, and then if they figure out one of them, then
All the things are gone.
Well, it's going to take them 3 years. I'm already going to have changed it by then. You have to change your password every 6 months or 6 weeks or something crazy. Like, I feel like I change it all the time.
I mean, that's
which
at
is
work.
a problem as itself.
That's at work because our IT department makes us do it. Other places,
I don't have
my
Robbie on
Nike
phone.
account does not make me change.
and another thing that they're all starting to do now is require the multi-factor authentication.
Oh, that's annoying.
It is. But it doesn't take long to get used to it.
But half the time I can't remember my password to get into the email that you just sent for me to like confirm the fact that you just sent me a password. Like,
We may be the problem. We are
like
the reason why Robbie.
he just confirmed the whole human
Yeah,
part.
yeah, we're why he has a job, and you are so in demand is because of people like us.
Like us.
So there are companies like I deal with called WatchGuard that I don't know if you can see, but most of like the third party that they give you, they
You gonna zoom? Do you want Taylor to zoom in on that?
no, honestly no.
Okay. All right. You may not.
But like places like Ring Central, or starting to use an accounting company called Xero, which is
Okay.
all online. They require that.
Yes.
And they give you a QR code. Well, with this app, you can scan the QR code, and then you just have to type in that 6-digit number instead of waiting on your email to come in.
Nice. Okay, so there are things out there that can help
Yes.
those of us who are memory challenged to utilize the safety features to keep us
Yes.
protected. Okay,
Yes.
that's helpful. It's good.
So what do you have any more? Like, I know what I want to ask, but I just feel like I'm like
It's your show. You do what you want.
I'm part of the heart.
Yeah. You go ahead.
So with you only working one day indicator, do you work from your home? Do you have a storefront? Are you officing out of somewhere? How do people find you?
I do office out of my home.
Okay.
I am moving more to a managed services model, which pretty much keeps me in my house for doing work because I can support everything pretty much remotely. And right now, most of my exposure is doing networking or things like this. Or
Okay.
I am trying to work on like more Facebook marketing, that kind of thing, and trying to get my name more out there. I've never been one that was really big on a hard sell. I would much rather give you information and let you make an informed decision. And if that decision includes me, great. If it doesn't, then I hope I've given you enough information that you can make an informed decision.
That's
like
really
that.
great.
Yeah.
That earns you respect. And even if they didn't need your services, they're going to obviously recommend you to somebody because, hey, this guy like helped me out.
Yeah.
I need him, but he's there. What does your main customer look like? Or client, I guess. Do you call him customer, client, patient? I'm a patient.
I really haven't said if they're customers or clients. I use those two kind of interchangeably. So, an ideal customer for me would be anywhere from about 10 to 50 devices.
Okay. Not necessarily people, but devices.
Correct. Because the endpoint protection that I like can cover your phones as well.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So they have a version for Windows, Mac, Linux.
Not the AC people either.
Yeah.
Not the AC people. And then Android and iPhones.
Okay.
And it's really cool. It's part of what they called a unified security platform. So they make products that collect information with AI, which I know that kind of be a bad term and people kind of start to freak out, but AI can be used for good as well as
Yes.
bad, which honestly, AI makes me a little nervous. If anybody's ever watched Terminator, I'm like, Skynet's coming.
Hasta la vista, baby.
But WatchGuard is the company that I resell their products, and they make everything from firewalls to endpoint protection to the multi-factor to wireless. And they're now releasing products that will monitor your Microsoft 365 accounts and look for abnormal And so all of this information gets reported back to their AI system, and it builds a model of what's normal in your network.
Oh,
And
Like customized for this client A, B, and C,
right,
and not just across the board.
right.
Okay.
And then anytime it detects anything that is out of the normal, I get notified. It sends me an alert, or if we set it up, the customer can get the alert as well. But most of my
They don't know what
customers
they're going to do with it.
right.
don't know what to do with it. So I always have it set up where it sends me the alert so I know right away. And it all operates on what they call a zero trust model, which means
That sounds familiar.
if it does not know what it is, it will not let it run.
Oh, okay.
So new program gets installed on a computer, their system doesn't know what it is. So it's like, all right, we're going to stop this from running and not let it do anything until we have a chance to look at it. And then if it's determined it's good, then it lets it run.
I feel like I can see your wheels turning.
I feel like he's like one of the smartest men in the planet. Like, do you know all of those systems back, like forward and backward, and you know how to fix all of those problems? Or you use
No.
more systems to help you systemize all the systems that are.
So my client in Decatur, we've had this discussion several times. It's like, I don't know how I would do my job without Google.
You?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, people don't know how to find anything in Burleson without the Chamber Google either.
Yeah.
Go
It's
ahead.
different.
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's different, but yeah.
So,
It's different.
when I got started in IT, there was no internet, there was no Google.
Right.
And if you didn't know something, then
You had to read an encyclopedia.
yes, or you had to go find somebody who knew something about it. So Google has made our lives so much easier.
I Google everything. I know this is a squirrel, but I Google everything, and my daughter does not. Like, it's totally a generational thing where if I don't know, but I'm going to need to find out. So I'm going to have to Google this thing and whatever obscure fact it is. And she's like, good to know. Okay. Like, never, I'm not going to
doesn't
think
question
about it
things?
again. But yeah, there's just no follow through with the question. Like, you don't want to know that? No, I don't really. Okay. I'm a Googler for all of the things.
yeah.
Anyway, so.
And another squirrel, these phones, I think, have made us completely stupid.
Oh, yes.
I used to know everybody's phone number by memory.
No.
I could barely tell you what my wife's phone number is at this point in my life.
That was one thing that my daddy made me do, right? Like, I mean, there were certain phone numbers and things that I had to memorize, and I have made myself continue to do. Not every phone number, right? But like circle of friends.
If something happens to my phone, I'm in trouble because I don't know your number. I know Jack's number, and then he'll get to you, but it's
Eventually,
not.
yeah.
It's not in here. Or my kids. I don't know either one of my kids' phone numbers either by heart. In fact, I had to use it this weekend while we were out of town for soccer, and I was like his phone number. You want his phone? Huh. Okay. And I had no idea what it was. Even it surprised me. Because I was thinking, oh, that's the account that's on the phone. I know the last four on the account, and I did not know which child it was going to, and that's him. So I have I don't store any of that stuff up here anymore at all.
Yeah.
At all.
You've also, in our past conversations, I think, said something about having your passwords, like talking about the phones. You're not supposed to have your passwords saved in your phones, right? Did you tell me that? I mean, I know I didn't talk to anybody else about this, so.
I personally don't.
Okay.
If my phone got lost or stolen and they could get into it and they can open it up and have all your passwords.
But it's face recognition. Is that not very safe?
Not really.
They just show a picture of, they just take a picture of me and.
There's some ways around it.
Okay. We're not going to tell you people out there what those ways are around it. We're going to keep that top secret. But
Yeah, it's secure. For the most part, but this was all created by humans, and there's flaws in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And with companies like Microsoft and Apple and Google, there's a lot of really, really smart people that create this stuff, but they're still human, and they unintentionally put holes in software that can get around.
Unintentionally. Mm-hmm.
Like I get emails weekly of new vulnerabilities that have been found in Adobe products, Apple products, Microsoft products that you need to install this update to close that hole.
Yeah.
Which is why you need to keep all your software updated. Windows.
She keeps getting. I have to reboot it again. It makes me
I'm
reboot.
the worst because I also have like 15 tabs up every single day, all day on this screen.
That's what her head
Not to
looks
mention
like inside
this
her
screen.
brain.
Yeah, that's true. But they are organized. So it is that organized chaos. There's this category of things going on, but there are a ton. And I will hit the postpone until it stops postponing. And it forces me, the only option I have, because it won't move from that part of the screen. Like, I'm thankful that our IT company makes me do this. Because if not, I would keep moving it around and whatever. But once it gets to that,
You have
force, I can't move it around.
You have no more lives left. You have to do it now.
It is in front of like every button I need always. And so I have to shut it down.
But it's a reboot and update
And that's where the
same
updates
thing?
come from. The updates get installed and it starts.
Yeah, typically when the updates are installed, it will force you to reboot it, depending on what the update is and what they are updating. But there are several of them that you don't have to. They just install. But the one that irritates me is Chrome. Because I get notifications all the time on Google Chrome about, we've installed a new version. You need to relaunch.
Yes.
Like, I have 15 tabs open. I'm researching something. I can't do it right now.
This is her exact point.
Yes, that is me. Except my Chrome does put it all back where it was. And so I don't mind doing just the Chrome because it's going to go back like it was. It's the other one that bothers me. It's the full stop, restart. I'm never going to remember all of those tabs. It's got the most random website from 3 months ago that I still haven't got to, but that's the bookmark that I'm going to see.
You're special.
Well, I am not alone in this. There are other multi-tab users, and we're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah's a 2-tab person, like at best.
I can't have that many
so we're
open.
clear.
It drives me nuts.
And I don't know how you function without all the tabs.
I mean, sometimes I don't.
That means you're completing the work. Like, period. You're just completing the work. And that's not...
That doesn't compute with you.
No.
Okay.
ADHDers are like, oh, let's do this. Yeah. And then we just move on to something else that's shiny or moved. Like it was well-intentioned. And so that's why I've started this and got like a quarter of the way through. And then other work happened and...
You almost hit send like 90% of the time. And then it's...
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. And so it's the same with
like we
tabs.
scrolled now.
So, Robbie.
Okay. So obviously, like... Well, not obviously, because our listeners, our viewers do not know. Where did you go to school, Robbie?
I graduated from Burleson High School.
Yes, you did. So I'll say back in the day, because you're not that much older than me. I mean, computers weren't that big, right? So did you always know that you wanted to work with computers? Was that like your dream come true?
Yeah, I got my first computer. I have an older brother and an older sister. So the summer between my 6th and 7th grade years, my sister decided she wanted to go buy a computer.
And that's when they like took up a whole room?
It was pretty big. It had no hard drive in it.
Right. Like, yeah.
It just worked off floppy disks.
Do you know what a floppy disk is?
I do remember a floppy disk, but it doesn't make sense in my head how the computer doesn't work off of a computer. It works off of a floppy disk. But that's
neither here nor there.
that's fine.
As a matter of fact, that first computer had 128K worth of memory.
See, I don't know what that
It's a
means.
little bitty.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about memory in a computer now, you're talking about gigabytes,
Which
which
Must
so
be
you
more.
go. It takes 1,000 kilobytes to make a megabyte, and then it takes 1,000 megabytes to make a gigabyte.
okay.
Then it takes
It hurts her head.
1,000 gigabytes to make a terabyte. So most of your storage you talk about in terabytes.
Yes, I've heard this
And
word.
memory,
Pterodactyl. No.
yeah. And then memory in the computer, which it actually runs off of, you talk about in gigabytes.
Never heard the Terra part.
Oh, really? That one I do know. I know it's a lot. that's all.
Random. Okay.
Yeah. I'll get
So,
you.
anyway, your sister bought a computer with a floppy disk.
And so,
And the green screen?
yeah, it was a monochrome screen. I don't remember exactly if it was green, if the text was green, or if it was black
I remember
screen
green
in a white
but
text.
okay.
But yeah, it just fascinated me, and she didn't really want to have anything to do with it.
What she
I've-
want it for?
It was new.
Oh.
So I sat down and started playing with it, and I'm like, okay, this kind of interests me. And then my senior year in high school was the first kind of computer class that the high school had. So I took that class. Not to say anything bad, but I didn't learn anything in that class.
It's still new,
'Cause,
right?
yeah,
Like,
it's
I mean,
still-
how are they supposed to be teaching computers when it's still new?
And so I took that class, and the teacher, I remember one day,
Who was it?
It was a teacher.
Okay.
she came and got me out of another class because her computer was broke in the classroom, and I had to come fix her computer,
So there you go. Senior year, you're already working.
pretty much. And then I went one semester to college and decided that wasn't for me. So I went and got a Novell certification, which was a software company that Microsoft pretty much buried.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, Novell was the networking 800-pound gorilla in the room, and thought when Microsoft introduced their servers, thought we don't have to worry about them. They're not going to do anything. We'll just keep going on
Oh, no.
how we're going. And Bill Gates, in his infinite wisdom, just completely destroyed them.
But you got a certificate
Yes.
from there to do what?
It was a network engineer. So I would build the servers, make sure they all could talk to each other. And
Have
So
you
it-
stayed here the entire time or did you go move away?
I stayed here.
Okay.
The technical school was in Irving.
Okay.
So I drove back and forth every day. And that's where I learned I'm a horrible test taker.
Ditto.
Every single test, there were 7 tests that I had to pass to get my network engineer. Every single test, I failed the first time.
Yeah.
I knew the information. I could turn around an hour later, go back in and take it again, and I would pass it.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
But I knew the first time I took a test, I was going to fail it.
I had test anxiety. Same. I would not a good test taker whatsoever. I would know the information, or I would ask Allard if we could use notes. That's how I got.
Anything for you, Sarah?
That's how I got through school. But all right, what do you have for him? You have anything?
Well, I don't want to totally move on by the reason you're here, but am excited about what you have going on for us at the end of the table over there.
Treasures.
Okay.
The treasures.
You ready?
So
Yeah. So not only do you know all these things about computers,
you're super stinking smart.
super smart.
You know, I told a customer that the one lady who runs their machine shop was apologizing to me because she was having a lot of issues that I was having to deal with her, and said she's not that smart. And I said, hold on. I said, I've been doing this for 25 years. I said, if the person who runs this company told me to come out here and do your job,
Right.
I would screw it up in 5 minutes.
That's true.
So
Give yourself grace.
yes, so if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's not that I'm that much smarter than anybody else. I've just done this for a really, really long
That's
time.
true. And I really do. The words just feel so foreign still.
And intimidating.
Yeah. And then I feel bad that I don't know this because I am old enough and it is late enough in life. Like it's 2020, almost 5. Like I should know these things now. These are normal words these days. And I'm like, no, I don't.
You should Google
I
it.
don't know that. Yeah.
Well,
Okay, before we get to treasures, I want to ask him more. Sorry,
Fine.
you know me.
Yeah,
I always
go.
have one more question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to tell about you and about your business? Like, I mean, we'll share where we can reach you at and where we can find you at. Is there anything that you want to tell the people, like your specialty or anything?
well, one thing I will say about me personally, and you may not pick up on that from this, but I'm a very introverted person. Getting up in front of groups of people and talking to an audience does not bother me.
That's interesting.
But to go to a networking event and approach a single person and try to talk to them is difficult for me.
Okay.
So if you see me at a networking thing standing by myself, I'm not trying to be standoffish. It freaks me out
Yeah.
to walk up to an individual. So if you see me
Come
out,
say hi to you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that, though, and I'm going to shameless plug for my favorite event, Business Over Breakfast. But this is like one of the reasons why I love Business Over Breakfast so much is because I feel the same exact way. There's like, I can compartmentalize that this is my job, so I have to do this and get it done. But if I am left on my own, I do not enjoy just going and forcing myself to talk to someone or inserting myself into a group because you're already having a conversation. So if I'm going to go in and I'm like butting into your conversation is what I'm telling myself. It may not be
Right.
true, but that's how I feel. And I hate that. And it is so awkward to me. But that's why I love Business Over Breakfast is because one, everybody is super welcoming, but you have just your small table of like 8. And I can manage to sit and talk to 8 people when I have to. Like, not even the whole time are we talking to each other, sharing all of whatever it is, but like they give us a topic. I'm only going to have to talk for a few seconds. Collectively as a table, it's a couple of minutes. And then I can say 30s. Like, it's just so, it makes me feel so much better because I am not that standalone, insert myself kind of person.
right.
So we're the same. That's what she's for.
That's what I'm for.
Yeah. Where I need a buddy. And if she's going to go and insert herself, I'll just tag with her and let her insert us.
Right.
And then I'll make myself part of it that way. And then maybe she can leave me alone and go somewhere else. And then I'll just catch her up at the next person. You know.
Yeah. I get
You're
that.
good
I'm
on
with you.
one-on-one. I mean, heck, one of the first times you came into our office, you stayed for like an hour. And
Yeah.
we got to learn
It was so fun.
much about you. And then we were like, yeah, he's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And look at you now. You're here.
Yes. If I have an idea of what to talk about, I'm better at that. But seeing somebody I've never met before and not knowing what their interests might be that we might be able to have a conversation about, yeah.
You don't like small talk. You just said, did you seriously just say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
wouldn't
think
say
you're better than you think, sir.
Thank
Based on
you.
our in-person
Yeah.
conversations that we have had. prior.
Thank you. For me, it's not that I don't like small talk. It's just I don't know what to talk about.
Dude, you're so interesting. I mean, he's about to show you all what he can talk about
who
forever.
it would be so fun.
What?
I was thinking the most interesting man in the world, which then led to the most interesting woman in the world, all happening very quickly in my head. Catherine Rao.
Yeah.
So fascinating. And then you should just talk together because
She's saying that y'all need to meet and talk
Okay.
together. Yeah.
just
Like,
very fascinating on all many different facets, the two of you. And
That's the word I was going to use. Get out of my head.
I will not.
Yeah, no, y'all would be really cool to talk to each other. And I would love to sit there and listen to that conversation. And I will assert myself into that conversation like a lot. She goes on trips. I bet she drinks wine too. So
At Texas Health Hughley Hospital, we're redefining healthcare for our community. From advanced technology and treatments to talented physicians, we're bringing innovation right to your neighborhood. Our award-winning team provides expert care when it matters most, while our 24/7 emergency department is here to handle life's unexpected moments. Whether it's routine care, advanced procedures, or your urgent needs, we're committed to your health every step of the way. Visit TexasHealthHughley.org to learn more. Texas Health Hughley, advanced care close to home.
We are Baylor Scott and White, All Saints Medical Center. We are part of the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas and one of the largest in the United States. From humble beginnings in the heart of downtown Fort Worth to our growing hospital network all across the state of Texas, we are a trusted leader, educator, and innovator for the communities that we serve. We are the premier Fort Worth hospital for advanced patient care and empower our patients to get better.
Drummel
For what?
is Robbie.
Yes.
And he is, come to find out, like a wine connoisseur, if you will. He's traveled the world or the US.
U.S. Okay.
Doesn't matter. He's still traveled. And he and his wife go to vineyards. And this man knows more about wine than I ever thought I would hear someone talk about.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what do we have here today, Robbie?
Welcome to the Kathy Lee and Hoda version of today's podcast.
This is a Pinot Noir out of Sonoma, California.
Okay.
This is technically a Sonoma Coast.
Is obviously there's a difference because you specified, but
So Napa, which everybody knows about,
yes.
and talks about, like Napa sits right here, and Sonoma County butts up right next to it. And Sonoma County goes
Sonoma Coast is
is
over here,
yeah,
'cause
Sonoma
it's by the
Coast
water.
is over by the water. It's a lot cooler climate, so it's a perfect region for Pinot Noir and Chardonnays.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like Chardonnays, but they're used to
That's me.
ones that you can buy in the grocery store.
Wow.
And they are
Budget friendly, Robbie.
yes. And I will say, the best wine in the world is the one you like.
That makes sense. It shouldn't matter to anybody else what the price point. If it's palatable to you and your favorite.
It's
If
just
you-
bonus points that it's like the $4 bottle from Trader Joe's.
Oh, ouch. That gives me a headache thinking about a $4 bottle of wine.
Though that's the
Okay.
tricky part.
So, funny thing about Trader Joe's, the $2 chuck is so when
Not really wine.
when a winery produces their wine, they have a certain amount that they make, and a lot of times they have leftover juice, leftover wine that doesn't go into the production of what's in their label.
Okay.
So they sell it to whoever to use in their wine. So a lot of times with $2 chuck, you could get something that was produced by a really good producer in California that you're getting at a really good deal. Sometimes not so much.
Are you saying that the bottles are never the same because they sell them the leftover juice and they just put the leftover juice in a bottle?
Is it like the hot dog of wine?
So yeah, $2 chuck is
Yes,
is a
$2
gamble.
chuck. You're like,
Is a
"What?"
gamble. Is a gamble when you buy it. But
Wow. Like there could be different flavors of whatever in one bottle or no?
no. Typically, like $2 chuck, they wouldn't mix like a Cabernet with a Pinot.
Okay.
They're not going to do anything
I mean,
like
you
that.
could call it a red blend.
Yeah.
I mean, slap that label on it real quick.
They're not going to typically do anything like that. But
Okay. We're calling you out, Trader.
so, have y'all tried this yet?
No, we haven't.
No, I was waiting.
So you were Sonoma Coast, water,
Yeah.
and then we squirreled.
Yeah.
So, this is a blend of various Sonoma Coast vineyards that they work with. So this is
Who
that
does?
this
The Blue Farm?
Blue Farm is
Blue
a
Farm.
winery that's actually in the city of Sonoma.
We didn't cheers. Clink, everyone. That's nice. I know.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will never know this again.
So this producer,
There's like a contentness in sitting in the, yeah, this is not the $4 bottle. This is really nice.
so this producer probably makes less than 1,500 cases a year.
Wow.
To give you some reference, Kendall Jackson brands
Yes.
produce about 6 million cases a year.
Jeez.
That's why they're $9, $11 a bottle.
Typically, when we go out there, we look for these places and don't go to Kendall Jackson brand wines.
Yeah. It is actual treasure.
Get to see us. We hit the jackpot today, ladies and gentlemen.
This one, they actually sent me an email. They had this one on sale right before Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And if I bought 6 bottles of it, there was 1 cent shipping.
Oh, that's totally worth it then, I bet. Because, listen, it's fine. But 1 cent shipping, because it's got to cost a lot to actually ship a case or however many you chose.
How much does it cost to ship a case?
A case of wine sent ground will run between $70 and $75.
See? That's a huge bargain.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you just got it for $75 off. I'm going to buy it. It was $75 off.
right. We don't know how much Did you buy a case or 6 bottles?
We just bought 6 bottles.
Okay. Is 6 bottles not a case in Wine World?
No, it's 12 is a case in Wine World.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was 20.
But when my wife or I either order wine from out there, we never leave an empty hole in a box.
Well, it's rude.
So we won't order 5 bottles or we won't order 10 bottles. It's either 6 or 12.
Yes. I mean it's
yeah.
logical to me.
I mean, 'cause-
also, you want more. Like, don't go with
Weight
lesser.
distribution. It's
Yeah.
just weird inside there, and then you're jeopardizing the whole shipment with the whole an actual hole in the. No, that's what I would say. Is it's not safe for shipping this way. We just need 1 more bottle to fill.
But there's a lot of really, really cool places out there. A lot of little family-owned wineries.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because part of my issue with places like Kendall Jackson brands is the stuff that they produce that you find on the grocery store shelves. They are looking for a consistent flavor profile to the wine from year to year.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these, you get some variations from year to year because it is so dependent upon the weather,
Right.
where it's at. So you get some nuances and some differences from year to year. Whereas the big corporate owned places want it a consistent, so they do a lot of additives and add things to it to get that consistent.
Yeah.
Flavor profile.
This is organic, where that is mass produced. I mean, it's just
Yes.
yeah, just like anything else.
Yeah.
So, how did you get into wine?
So I mentioned
Are we
I have
gonna
a
start
brother
high
and a
school
sister.
again?
No,
Okay.
That was Boone's Farm, and I don't know if that really qualifies
no.
as wine.
no, it doesn't. And it did start in high school, a little before high school, actually. So my
There's
brother's
a lot of land out here back
Yeah.
then, so you know.
So my brother is really into wine as well. And so when my wife and I started dating, my brother kept trying to get us to try it. And so finally we gave in and we're like, okay, we just got to see what he keeps
What's he
going on
talking
about. Like just,
Yeah.
and everybody who's really into wine, they all have their aha moment of this is what sells them on wine. And my wife and I were still dating. She lived in an apartment in South Arlington, and she's from Kansas, and she had done a trip down here with, I think it was Topeka's AAA office, and she bought a bottle of Texas Cab, and we stored it above the stove, which is not a good place to keep
I mean,
any wine.
that temperature varies a lot. It's real fermented.
So one night we decided to grill out steaks and thought, let's open that bottle. I mean, we got to drink it sometime. And it was a Cab, and I'd grilled out a couple of ribeyes. And the pairing of that ribeye and that Cab was it. I mean, that completely sold me.
Okay, so it didn't really ruin the bottle of wine, that one.
I
They
want to
didn't know
say
any
no.
better at that
Yeah.
time.
And I've often told people, like, I thought about trying to hunt that down again, but I thought, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't
Let
want
the
to ruin.
memories stay.
I don't-
My palate has graduated
Absolutely,
from
it has.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep that memory intact. I don't want to try that wine again and go, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, no. It was
But it
perfect
got you-
as is.
It got you hooked
Yes, it did.
in a great way, right? Like now y'all travel. Where's your favorite place to go to look and taste and do the things? Only in California?
We've pretty much only been to California. We pretty much go to Sonoma.
Okay.
Like the last 2 years, we never even stepped foot in Napa County.
Okay. This is your spot.
We typically go every year. 2011 was our first trip. And we didn't go in, I think, 13, and then we didn't go the COVID year. But we've
And
pretty
it's
much
like
been
for
every
your anniversary or a birthday or something, right?
Yeah, usually, well, we have so many wine clubs. We have so many places that we buy from out there that typically we try to plan our trips around one of their events.
Got it.
So
You're right though. I felt like it hit like on her birthday and Christmas or something, and then you just kind of got left out, and then you just
So this year we were supposed to
something.
we were supposed to go the 1st of August, which her birthday is in August,
Okay.
for an event, which
Got it.
it just happens to be around her birthday.
okay. That's what. it was.
Okay. That's how. Okay.
So, and then we were supposed to leave on a Wednesday that Saturday before both of us got COVID. So we had to postpone that trip. And then this year we did it over our anniversary in October.
Got it. That's coming back. Yeah.
Next year, I think we're going to actually go to Blue Farm
Oh, nice.
for their 1st of May. They do their, I always screw this up, their rosé party in the Rose Garden.
How fun.
Cute.
And they have,
Do you want to go with them?
Yeah.
I think we should.
I was refraining from asking you first. Could you bring like a
room.
+3 and we could both go?
for
With y'all.
research.
It is research purposes.
and they have a really, really beautiful rose garden. And the rosé is actually really nice. It's a rosé of Pinot.
Oh.
And it's really, really nice.
I don't understand that. How is it a rosé of Pinot? Because I thought rosés were like a Zinfandel.
You can make a rosé out of about any red grape.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
You just water it down till it's the. No.
So in this one, for example,
Oh gosh.
no, I know. I'm just like, okay, so this is going to be kind of a long-winded explanation. So with most red grapes, when they crush them and they get the juice out of it, the juice is clear. So they let the juice sit on the grape skins to get this color.
Got it. Okay.
So
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Oh well, you said and I.
So with the rosé, some places will leave the juice on the skin for as little as 2 hours.
Yeah, you
To
just
get
get a
a
little
real-
bitty time.
Yeah, that little real light pink
Got it. Okay.
color. And the more time that a red wine sits on the skins, you get more of that tannic structure, that part that dries your mouth out when you drink it. And that's one of the big things with Cabernets is they're so tannic is because of the skins, and sometimes they'll leave them on the stems and the skins, get that wood to pull it out.
Okay.
Some more of the tannin out of the wood.
Okay. He's so great.
Hannah.
Well, thank you for being our first guest on the Heart
It's
of
my
Commerce.
honor.
And thank you for coming back to the chamber, seriously,
Yes.
and finding value in coming back. And I hope whatever you need, you let
Okay.
us know.
I will.
I hope that you will. I know that Network at Night and Business Over Breakfast are not going to work for you until we can reschedule that.
Or talk to your Decatur guy, whichever comes first.
It sounded like you said dictator. You said Decatur.
Decatur guy.
But we appreciate you being back.
No problem. I'm looking forward to getting back involved and getting back into the community and seeing what I can do to help.
Love it. There's always a need, whether
Yes.
it's with us specifically or just another organization, because we thankfully have lots of nonprofits, lots of networking, lots of just organizations in general that go much further than us. And so I appreciate
I feel
that
like you've already referred somebody to him,
did.
actually. Okay, yeah. I don't remember who it was, but it was like 3 days after you came into the office
and
and,
I was
somebody
like,
called. We got a guy.
I know. Yeah.
So thank you.
So I don't know if they ever actually called me, but
I don't know if they did
Yeah.
either. I didn't actually follow up with her to see if she did or not. But
We got it out there.
I did what I could do. And
Okay, real quick. Do you actually work with like individuals or companies only? Like, I mean, I guess if you're looking at 10 to 50, you're looking at businesses.
I prefer companies only.
Okay.
I will do some stuff for individuals, but I'm fairly picky
Okay.
about that. Not
Gotcha.
to dissuade anybody or discourage anybody,
Well,
but
I mean, I don't. If I have an individual that says, "Hey, I need an IT guy for a problem," I want to be able to say, "Okay, you need to check with this, not Robbie."
Yes.
If you have a wine question, I've got your guy. Like I have a connoisseur now.
Yeah.
Who knew? We have a connoisseur. It's fine. We have a guy.
We do have a guy. Yeah.
You know, it did take me a while to land on this wine.
Was there like a really hard selection? Like, really? You actually had. I love it. Thanks. What were our other options?
I debated about a Texas Tempranillo,
Okay.
I like
Which-
Tempranillo.
which
It's just fun to say.
That's actually really good.
there's several Texas wineries I'm not a fan of, but this one in particular, we've been friends with since they had a Napa label, and they are now in Austin. And he is probably the best winemaker in Texas, in my opinion.
Keep going.
The name of the winery is CL Butaud, Butaud.
Okay.
It's named after his grandfather or great grandfather. I
Someone.
should know. Anyway, and HEB sells two of their wines, two or three.
Which
They're
is the Papa
Frenchie,
Frenchie.
which is
Oh,
what
that's
they,
a cute name.
which is what everybody called his great grandfather.
The grandfather that was
See,
great.
now I am.
it was the great grandfather.
Oh, okay. So then there you go. Or do you mean just great?
Grandfather that was
Oh,
great.
Okay. But that's why I would buy, like, I don't buy the wine correctly because I'm going to go by the label, by the name. Is it fun? What entices me about it? Like, I have the kinds that I like, but that's a really nice label. And I'll probably
I'm just gonna
I-
make sure
I'm-
it's not on the bottom shelf. Is what I'm.
No.
I've bought them
I'm
that way
up
too.
here.
I've bought them that way too. Like, that's a really cool label. Like,
It usually works out well. Or again, the fun name. And so what was it?
Papa Frenchie.
Okay. Papa Frenchie. I would totally buy it because that's a fun name.
Does it have a Frenchie dog on it?
no, it's actually a characterization of his great grandfather.
That's cool.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
And I know I'll completely get this wrong. On the back label, there's like 4 or 6 little icons. those were all the things that his great grandfather loved in life.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
one of them is Bluebell.
I mean,
What
listen,
a great
ice
tribute.
cream.
That's
Yeah.
really pretty. I like that. Now, you said the Tempranillo comes from him, but they don't sell the Tempranillo in HEB. They only sell, you said, a red and a white.
There's 3 in the Papa Frenchy line. There's a red, there's a white, and there's a rosé.
Okay.
And I will say all 3 of those are really good, and they're usually around that $20 price point. His Tempranillo is not that cheap. But
You have good taste.
he does a really, really good job. I did debate about a Malbec. And I do have a really nice Malbec from another winery up in Sonoma that it's probably one of the longest one we've been members of.
Okay.
It's one called Lambert Bridge, and they do all big red wines, and they're all just wonderful.
So you'll be coming back again then, I guess?
Oh, and I thought, like, well, we don't have too terribly long, so I can't just like bring a whole spread and open.
We couldn't do a flight,
We couldn't do a flight
No.
you know.
because typically once you open a bottle, you've got about 48 hours to drink it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I couldn't
Why
bring.
would it last more than
It takes me forever. Like, it does take me a long time. And I know that I really do know I only have a couple of days before. But it's always tricky for me that I'm going to get it finished or not. And so I currently have 3 sitting on my counter right now. And I'm like, I don't know when I'm even going to get to those because
That's sad.
I'm not gonna, and nobody else in my house drinks it. And so,
Yeah,
you
people
know.
have given us stoppers, and we're like, why?
You shouldn't
no.
need one of those.
I'll take your stoppers because I can never find my one. And, you know,
Just the
It's just
aluminum
like-
foil over the top of it. It's fine.
it's saran wrap with a rubber band. No, it's not that bad. I have a nice one. I mean, I didn't purchase it, but it's a nice one. It takes me too long to go through them. It's unfortunate. But, you know, I live a rough life. Feel bad for me.
I mean, it's a good thing that you don't have to drink the 3 bottles at one time.
No, I was hoping that like Thanksgiving would have gotten,
Well,
you know, but that didn't happen.
that didn't happen.
And so Christmas is coming, and so surely
We'll get 3
one
new
of-
bottles, not those bottles.
That's probably what will happen. I don't know if I like new stuff, and so these have been sitting on the counter, so I'll probably
He's telling you not do that. Do not do that.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
'cause
sir.
basically it turns into vinegar.
Ugh, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Well, it's good to cook with. Like red wine vinegar
But
is made.
cheery. You could saute some mushrooms and some vegetables with the wine that you have on the counter now.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They're all sealed. I have not opened them yet.
Oh,
Did you take it? As
Sorry.
you had
I
opened them?
I'd
Okay,
taken it that
Oh,
you would
I'm sorry.
opened 3. You had 3 open bottles sitting
I
on
know
the counter.
Sorry, no. They're unopened. I know I only have 48
That's
hours.
your problem. Once you open it,
Once
you
I
only
open
have.
it, I'm not
Got
going
you.
to
I'm like,
finish it.
Why?
And so, yeah.
Do you have 3 open bottles open?
No,
That's
gross.
sad.
No, I would not.
Who are you?
They are unopened.
Okay. Well,
Waiting for.
friends.
So little things. Light is worse on wine than temperature.
So I should move it off the counter by the stove.
Hey, you know why?
Yeah, don't put it in the windowsill.
Ooh, no.
Hey, you know why they make those wine boxes and you stick the wines in there? Is because it's dark
Yeah.
and cozy. It's a little home for it.
Yeah. I used to have some of those, and
that
then
true
I
or no?
stopped drinking them
Well,
that
partially.
way.
And do you know why you lay them down?
So
Instead
that
of
it
have
doesn't
this-
throw the cork out and let
Yes.
air in.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
So, and if you have something like a cab that's a little older,
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm going to grill out steaks, I'll open a cab 4 or 5 hours before I start cooking and let it just sit on the counter and breathe.
Yeah, that's a lot. I do
Aerate.
think it does get better like the next day for that reason, but there's not a whole lot of preparation that happens for me whenever I'm going to have it that I think much more beyond like at best 30 minutes. I mean, maybe I'll push it for an hour if it's like, again, Thanksgiving and I know mother-in-law is coming, I'll be prepared and I'll open it, but it's still not on there to open it up early enough. Sit on the counter. Then there's the temptation. Excuse
Wait,
me.
there's
I'm sorry,
more.
But wait, there's more. If it's open, what if I want to drink it already?
Well, so, and you should, once you open it, if you're going to let it sit, you should at least take a little taste of it to see what it's like and
Yes,
find out if
taste
it's any
checker.
good.
Yeah.
Gotta check it.
And then when you have your meal and you sit down, you can taste it again and see how much it's changed, because it should kind
like an
of
experiment.
calm down.
Is that why by the second bottle it tastes different than the first?
I think that's different. I think that's different.
2 bottles is not.
It's not that much, is it, Robbie? No.
Okay.
See?
I can't finish the first
I'm
one,
in good
so-
company.
Yes.
So, you know, like
I'll
when
sit
we
over
go to
here.
California, like our day starts at 10 a.m.
Well, but that's different. That's different. You're on vacation in Sonoma with the whole purpose of whining, you know?
So our last trip, we flew directly into Sonoma County and we landed about noon. We were at our first winery by 2:00. And it's one that we go to quite a bit, and the same person does our tasting. And I think he opened 13 different wines for us to taste while we were there.
Jeez.
Well, you don't have to drink the whole bottle.
Well, I know, but I'm thinking 13 opened, and then what? Somebody else?
Oh yeah, they have a lot of, so it kind of gets passed around, and
Oh, okay.
it all gets
It
consumed.
was taken care of.
It was taken
not
care of.
It
wasted.
was a
Yes.
good time.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
That sounds nice then.
And I kind of knew that was going to happen, so that's the only one we planned for that afternoon.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you a hook up there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very cool.
Helpful. Mm-hmm. Well, any parting words from CTS CompuPro?
Oh, this has been fun.
Good. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for
Yeah.
being our first.
Anytime you want to talk, I'm always available.
Appreciate you.
We can do this and we can experiment with wine.
Ooh, what if we had a cheese person that came in and we did cheese and wine
The whole
pairing?
thing.
Yeah.
The show's taking a turn.
I mean, celebrate.
Yes, we'll just change the logo to more of like a maroony kind of a color, and it'll be fine. Yeah, I like it.
Thanks, Robbie.
No problem.
We had a
I
good
enjoyed it.
We'll put your information out there and let the people know where they can
Okay.
find you. And would you like to say your phone number or your email address or anything? Website?
Facebook.
And my website's under construction, so
Says
I would
the
give it.
IT guy.
I would give it out, and it will actually show something up, but it's
It says
not.
option 1, 2,
He's
3.
like, but
Yes.
don't judge me, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's since I'm it, I do all the accounting, I do all the marketing, I do all the actual work and development of everything. So everything else kind of gets put on the back burner when paying customers are calling.
Yeah.
So
Like construction.
Yes.
You do this all day for other people, and so remodeling your own bathroom, not
yes,
so much on the list.
yes.
Understandable. I think that speaks to everyone. We get
If
that.
you need Robbie, call 817-295-6121. I'll hook you up with his number.
That's the chamber office. Just
Well, and look, my cell phone is 817-235-5459.
5459.
Yep.
into the whole world right there.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not a password.
That's true. Yes, there is. Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
Robbie.
No problem.
All right. Go for it. Sign out. You sign out.
You stop it. You sign out. That's it. It's the Heart of Commerce. Thanks for joining us today. We had a wonderful time with Robbie and everyone for joining us. And I don't know. Cheers, dears. That's all I got.
Let's clink.
Oh,
Let's do it.
it's far. And we'll clink to you, Taylor.